In Oregon, a sheriff investigates case of stolen log cabin. Reuters sheriff deputy in Oregon are investigating a particular case of a log cabin that was reportedly stolen, only to be found 2 days later, less than a mile from where it was taken, authorities said Friday. The mystery began earlier this week when a man identified himself as the co-owner of the vacant cabin, which occupied about 1,400 square feet on a remote lot some 270 miles south of Portland.
Okay,
I
want to interrupt you for a second. He took it less than a mile.
It's been snatched from its foundation.
Why would he go to all that effort, then take it less than a mile and go, fuck it?
Okay, he didn't do it.
Oh.
You didn't let me get there!
Well, no, you don't deserve to get there.
Okay. I've seen a lot of scams, but I've never seen an entire house gone missing, Klamath County Sheriff Frank Scraw, who spent 40 years in law enforcement. I was sitting in a meeting, and one of the deputies from the front desk came in and said, "Frank, you're not going to believe this. Someone just stole a house." After some investigation, detectives found the house on Thursday about a half a mile away in the Sprague River community northeast of Klamath Falls. It had been jacked up and hauled off by a hired logging company, Detective Eric Shepard said. It turned out, Shepard said, that one of the three individuals claiming to hold the title of the cabin had stolen the property, had sold the property to a fourth person without informing the putative co-owner who had discovered it missing. The man who purchased the home for $3,000 had no idea that it's been reported stolen, the sheriff said.
Okay, so does that make it a hot house?
Yes.
Because it's a hot house?
Also,
come on!
I was trying to ask earlier, Zine, what is the...
I have to mute myself so I don't pause when I hear myself.
Okay, but I was asking, so did you say the guy's name is Frank, or what is his rank?
Sheriff Frank Scraw.
Oh, I thought his rank was a scraw. I was like, I've never
No,
heard...
why would you think that? That's not a thing.
I thought that was like a Portland thing.
I said sheriff, didn't I?
He's a sheriff. You said sheriff. What's wrong with you?
I thought his rank was scraw.
Well, the Scraw said police were still trying to determine if the situation is a criminal case or a civil matter. None of the property owners or the buyer could be reached for comment. To quote the guy who bought the plate, "It was hell of a steal." Yeah, it was hell of a steal, Scrawl said.
Okay, the first funny thing about this is I want to imagine some guy going, "Okay, come on, let's get it," and just getting like a bunch of friends to load up.
They got a logging company.
They got a logging company? Well, I guess it's a log cabin, I guess that kind of applies.
I've hunted their kind for years.
Dismantle it and then put it back together, right?
Oh, did they dismantle it, or did they just drag it?
No, they dragged it.
Did they, or load it up on a truck and put it?
They removed it from the foundation and then dragged it along.
Then dragged it,
and it fell into the river.
Oh, that's why they took it less than a mile. Because then they're like, shit.
You see, it was secretly stolen by beavers in men's suits.
They wanted an edible house. It's like the gingerbread house for beavers.
Beaver ready to attack.
Oh, God. I can't get over that. That's like...
No, I'm just thinking,
that's the kind of story...
You first.
That's the kind of story that gives me wood. You get it? You get it? It's funny.
So what I would say is, I'm now imagining like the beavers are sitting inside the house. They're like having tea and stuff, going, "Oh yes."
Oh man, but I don't know. Like I'm trying to imagine what would make that guy think he could get away with that.
Well, I bought the house, and I got a truck and a chain.
The guy who sold the house who thought he could get away with it by selling it to someone who was one of the three owners
I got a team of
One
like
of
500
the-
beavers.
Didn't tell the other two. One of them showed up and went, where's the house?
Where's the house? Well, you know the river. What does the river have to do with the house, Jim?
You have lakefront property now.
Your riverfront property. That's the good news. The good
I
news
think
is our
it's more
property
than
value went up.
lakefront property. I think it was immediately inside of it.
No, that's the joke, Zin.
It's a
Oh wait, no,
houseboat.
it was in the community. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's a houseboat. Huh?
Ah?
They
Huh?
jacked. Oh my god! Now I'm just picturing, like people like shoving, the car lift stuff
Yeah.
under the house and just like doing the jacking motion of just lifting it and then sliding a
No,
truck
you do
underneath.
that. You do that.
Yeah,
Actually,
I know.
We've actually lifted this house off the foundation once.
Once.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that.
Uh,
But I'm
So that actually is a very important question. How much wood can an Argonian chuck? Turns out a house worth.
a house worth. That's lame, Carl.
well,
Did you expect anything better from me?
well.
Actually, given your love of fried food, I expected batter of you.
Uh, and the Emily says.
I'm very much a bad person.
And the Emily says.
Just meat. That's it. That's all she says.
She's been stolen by beavers,
Yeah, apparently
Yes.
so.
and we'll find her in the river
Yeah.
after our next segment.
Living in
And-
the log cabin,
She's having tea
in
with
bed
them.
wooded by beavers.
Oh, yes!
Yes, God, indeed.
Woo!
Indeed, yeah.
Then in fact,
Out of fiber.
It will make your colon very healthy.
But what about your semicolon? Or your comma?
Lincoln Logs.
Is that a cross between a camel and a llama? Speaking of llamas.
Da 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 da.